Good morning students, welcome in this class. This video is for class 8 subject social science as we are studying about civics chapter 5 judiciary. It is the second lecture of this chapter and in today's lecture the topics to be discussed are first one, structure of courts in India. Second, different branches of legal system. Third, does everyone have access to the court? And in last, homework will be assigned to you. So students, let's start today's discussion. Yes, in our previous lecture we have studied about that judiciary and its main roles and functions. So in today's lecture we are discussing about court structure in India. Yes, actually in our country there are three different levels of courts. These are first one district courts, second high courts and third one Supreme Court. Okay, actually the court structure of India is represented through a triangle, means pyramid. How? Like that first we will discuss about the lower court. Just I told you that three types of court system are there. That first is district level, means this is also known as lower court. Okay, and second one high court and third one Supreme Court, which is at the apex level. Okay, so first we will discuss about district court. Okay, yes friends, at the lower level there are a number of courts. Okay, and however at apex level there is only one court, that is Supreme Court. District courts or subordinate court are the ones where most of the people interact. Yes friends, actually this is the lower court and it is known as by different name like district court, subordinate court. Okay, that tehsil court, means that district courts are known as by different names, and all the you can say low level cases or you can say petty issues cases are solved in district court. Okay, at second level court is there, that is high court. Okay, that high court, like each state is divided into different districts and the courts located in these districts are presided by the district judges. Understood? Means the courts which are located at a tehsil at the district level or in towns. Okay, and they hear different types of cases. This is about district court. Okay, and each state in India is divided into different districts and these courts located in these districts are presided by the district judges. So understood about the district courts, means they are the courts at the lower level. Okay, and they are more in number, many in number, and they are known as by different names. Okay, now the second level of court, these are high courts. Okay, that every state has a high court. It is the highest court of that particular state. Understood? Yes. Currently, if we talk that India has 25 high courts, while several states have their own high courts. The state of Punjab and Haryana have common high court at Chandigarh. Yes friends, as I told that every state has a high court. So in this way that there must be 28 high courts if 28 states are there in India. But some states have common high court like Punjab and Haryana. Punjab and Haryana, these two states have a common high court and which is in at Chandigarh. Okay friends, and now about the other high courts. Okay, the northeastern states such as Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Nagaland. Okay, these three also have a common high court which is at Guwahati. And earlier that there was the common high court when there were no division of that Andhra Pradesh. As we know that Andhra Pradesh is divided into two parts, that is Telangana and Andhra. So now they have separate high court from 1st January 2019. Understood about it? Now we will discuss about the third level of courts, that is Supreme Court. It is also known as apex court, highest court. Okay, so the Supreme Court is India's topmost court at apex level and is located at New Delhi, and the Chief Justice of India presides over this court. Yes friends, what do you mean by the Chief Justice? Actually, the senior most judge of the Supreme Court, judges of Supreme Court, okay, is known as Chief Justice. Means he or she is the head of the whole judiciary of India. Okay, so who is Chief Justice? The senior most judges of Supreme Court. This is there. The decision made by the Supreme Court is binding on all other courts located across the country. These are some, you can say, features of Supreme Court. Now we will study about these features. Okay, what does it mean? Means the decision made by the Supreme Court is binding on all other courts. Now I will tell you about this thing. Okay, yes friends, so feature of the court system. First feature is there, that is integrated system. You must know about integrated. Actually, the different levels of courts in India are connected to each other. Okay, and the judiciary system is integrated in our country. It means that the decision made by the higher court bind the lower courts as well as. Okay, so what does it mean? Integrated system. In first slide, I told you that the decisions of the Supreme Court is binding on all lower court. So this system is known as integrated system. As I told beta that there are three types of court: district court, high court, Supreme Court. So means you can say the decision given by the higher court are binding on lower court. Like the decision given by the Supreme Court, as we know Supreme Court is the highest court, so the decision given by the Supreme Court is binding on lower court, means high court and district court. In the same way, the decision given by the high court, okay, is binding on lower court, means district court, but it is not binding on Supreme Court. Understood or not? Okay, so means the decision given by the higher level court are binding on lower court. Like Supreme Court decision is binding on high court and district court, and high court decision is binding on that lower court. Okay, means that this decision given by the Supreme Court can't challenge anywhere. Okay, it can't be challenged anywhere or in other court. Okay, now I will explain these things with an example also. Okay, now next feature is there, that is appellate system. Another way to understand this feature is by the appellate system that still persists in our country. Okay, what do you mean by appellate system? It means that a citizen has the right to appeal to a higher court if they feel that the judgment passed by the lower court is not justified. Okay, listen beta, suppose if any person is there, any party is there, those who have filed their case in lower court, like in district court, and the decision given by the district court, means they are not satisfied with the decision which is given by this district court, so they can file their case again in high court. Okay, and if they are not satisfied with the decision of high court, so again they can file the case on the Supreme Court, but the decision given by the Supreme Court is the final decision. Okay, and the decision given by the Supreme Court can't be challenged in any other court. So this is the appellate system. Okay, means if the party is not satisfied, okay, with the decision of lower court, so that party can appeal for their case in higher court. Okay, now I will give one example. The case study, one story is given in your book. So after that reading, you can understood about these two features, what is appellate system and what is integrated system. Okay beta. So now listen, here one person is there. Lakshman Kumar had married Sudha Goyal in February 1980. In December 1980, Sudha died due to burns. Her family filed a case in the lower court that alleging that her husband and in-laws were responsible for her death. Okay, so what actually the case is related to the death of Sudha Goyal, and she got married in 1980. Okay, February 1980, and in that December 1980 she met with an accident, you can say, and she died due to burns. Okay, so that the family member of Sudha, then they file a case that for her death for her death, her husband and in-laws, means mother-in-laws and that brother-in-laws, they are responsible. They thought that they are responsible for her death, and for that reason they file a case in the lower court, means first in the district court. Okay beta. So what happened when they filed the case in district court? As this case was being heard in the trial court, or trial court is the other name of that district court, 4 neighbors were called as witnesses. They stated that they had heard that Sudha screaming the night before her death and had forced themselves into her house. They spotted that Sudha in flames. They immediately wrapped her in a blanket and gunny bag and that extinguished the fire. Sudha told them that her mother-in-law had poured kerosene on her and the husband was one who had lit the fire. Understood about the case? Actually, the case is related to the dowry system. Okay, means that the Sudha's family member blamed on that Sudha's in-laws family that they were demanding dowry, and when they couldn't fulfill their demand, so that in return that Sudha's in-laws that they put her mother-in-law put that kerosene oil on her, and her husband put or lit the fire. That was the reason for her death. Okay, means this was, you can say, not accident, but the Sudha's family member, in-laws family member were involved in it. Okay, so that when this case, the hearing was the case in the district court. So when the trial was going on, these witnesses told that Sudha was subjected to different types of torture from her husband and in-laws. They were demanding dowry such as cash, scooter for her family on the birth of first child. On the other hand, Lakshman and his family, or his mother in their defense, had stated that Sudha's sari had caught fire accidentally and she was heating the milk. Okay, on this basis of evidence, the trial court that convicted Lakshman, his mother's and his brother-in-law Subhash Chandra, and that awarded them to the death sentence. Okay, so I think you can understand about the case. That Sudha's mother-in-laws, means their family member were saying that it was not accident, and Sudha's in-laws family member were saying that it was accident, and Sudha's sari got fire when she was boiling or heating the milk. This was there. So in 1983, the 3 accused appealed against their sentence in the High Court. Okay, so means the decision which was given by the that Sudha, in which the decision given by the that district court, that it said that it was an accident, and that Sudha's in-laws were not involved in this case. But in that case, beta, Sudha's family member were not satisfied with this decision. They were not agree. Okay, so what they did, they then you can say appeal against this sentence, against this decision in the High Court. When they were not satisfied with the decision given by the district court, then they appeal, means they again file their case where? In the High Court. So this is integrated, and this is appellate system, means if any person is not satisfied with the decision of the lower court, then they can appeal in the High Court, higher court. Okay. So after hearing the argument of the lawyer from both sides, the High Court concluded that Sudha died due to accidental fire which has taken place because of their kerosene stove. Okay, hence all these 3 accused were acquitted. Okay, so after that decision, what decision was given by High Court? High Court gave the decision that it was an accident, okay, and that these three people were acquitted, means they were not involved in this case, okay, and free from the that punishment or case. But again, the Sudha's family member were not satisfied, and they filed their or appeal their case in Supreme Court. So understood about the appeal system कि when in this case first they were not satisfied with the district court decision, then they filed the case in High Court. When they are not satisfied with the decision of High Court, then they appealed in the Supreme Court. Okay, so the Supreme against this acquittal, all these three accused, the apex court means Supreme Court, heard the argument from both sides and reached a conclusion which was different from the High Court. Lakshman and his mother, okay, were declared guilty according to the evidence. Okay, and however his brother-in-law was acquitted since this was a lack of evidence against him. So the accused was sent to prison for a lifetime by the Supreme Court. Understood? So according to the Supreme Court, what decision was given? Ki that was not accident, that was the dowry case, and in which that Sudha husband Lakshman and her mother-in-law were involved, but brother-in-law, okay, was acquitted, means that he was innocent. He was not involved in this case because that there was no evidence which proved that he was involved in it. So what was the punishment given by the Supreme Court? That Supreme Court gave a lifetime punishment these two people. Okay, so now this is the final decision because this was the decision of Supreme Court, and I told you that Supreme Court is at the apex level court, and the decision given by the Supreme Court can't be challenged in any other court. Okay, so and the decision which was given by the Supreme Court, it is binding for High Court and that you can say subordinate court or Tehsil court. So the decision which was given by the Supreme Court, that prison for a lifetime for the that Subhash and his mother. So this decision was you can say that binding or must be followed by High Court and District Court. So this is the meaning of binding. This is the meaning of integrated or you can say appellate system. Understood about it? So now we will discuss about our next topic, that is you can say laws. Okay, types of law, cases you can say. Okay, so in which if we say that two types of cases are there, or you can say different branches of legal system. Our next topic is different branches of legal system. Okay, so beta this related to this above case of dowry, or the case which we have studied about this that dowry death falls within what considered a crime against society, or it is a violation in a criminal law. So in this way we can say that there are two types of law. One is criminal law and second is civil law. This is very important topic and you must know about it. Ki what are the criminal law and what are civil law. Okay, and most of the time the question is asked, differentiate between civil law and criminal law, or what are the different branches of legal system. So there are two branches of legal system, criminal law and civil law. So what are criminal law or what are civil law? To look at there first, this is about criminal law. Deals with conduct or acts that the law defines as offense, theft, that a woman, or dowry or murder. Okay, harassment of a woman, or dowry or murder or theft means the you can say any wrong behavior, act or conduct of any person which law defines as a crime or offense. Okay, so this type of cases like theft, okay, harassment, harassing a woman, or that for a dowry system or murder. So this type of cases come under the criminal law. And the laws deals with any harm or injury to the rights of individual. Yes friends, this is the main difference. Rights of individual means fundamental rights. Okay, means if any case is there which you can say harm or injury, not physically, not you can say mentally, but it injury to the rights of individuals, like dispute relating to the sale of land, purchase of good, rent matter, divorce cases. Okay, means if any person is not giving the rent to the landowner, okay, and if there any dispute related to related to the land between two brothers or two persons, if there is divorce cases, so this type of cases means which are you can say belong to any personal or individual. Okay, means the cases which are belong to individual, and but that theft and harassment, okay, or this dowry, means this type of cases that which are against the society. Understood? So means criminal cases always started with FIR, and but in that civil cases no FIR is launched. Okay, a petition has to be filed before the relevant court by the affected party only. So this is the second difference. And in criminal case, if a person found guilty, the accused can be sent to jail or also fined. But in some cases, like in civil cases, the court gives the specific relief asked for. Like if person is not able to paying the complete rent, that in that situation, that the court asks to give some amount. If not able to pay complete, then some relaxation was given. Ki you can pay it after 6 months or after 1 year, and this much amount you can pay. So means some relaxation, some reliefs can be given in civil cases, but for the criminal cases, the you can say punishment is the same for everyone. So this is the difference between criminal law and civil law. Understood? Okay, next are that is there. So this is different branches of legal system. Next our topic is there, that is, does courts assist to everyone? Yes, beta. If we ask that in reality that all the people can approach the court, no. Actually, according to our constitution or principle, that every citizen has the right to assist the court. Okay, beta. But it simply means that every person has the right to get justice with the help of the court system. While the constitution states that everyone has access to courts, okay, in reality the poor people have always found it difficult to access them. Yes, it is true. Okay, means only that rich people, you can say, those who can afford the fee of the lawyer, those who can that do all the paperwork, okay, have time to do this paperwork, they means the courts are accessible to only those one. Ki the poor people who can't afford that high fees of lawyer, okay, those who don't have time for this, as we know that in the cases that there is a lot of paperwork. Okay, and the poor class people, that because they daily they daily earn, okay, means their source of income basis on their daily income, daily work, so they can't spend so much time, okay, so in this paperwork they can't afford the higher fees of this lawyer. So in this way, that poor people can't reach to the court, means the courts are not accessible to the poor people, they are accessible to only rich people. Okay, so in this way we can say that in reality courts are not accessible to everyone. So for the solutions of this problem, one another you can say fact is taken in our constitution, that is known as PIL, public interest litigation. What was it now? What is it now? We will discuss about it. So the Supreme Court in the 1980 devised a mechanism called PIL, which is also known as public interest litigation, so that a poor person chance to get justice be increased. So what is this PIL? Actually, it allows any organization or individual to file a PIL in the Supreme Court or High Court on the behalf of the people whose rights have been violated, okay, in the past. And for that, beta, what is given, that simple letter or telegram okay, written to the court about the problem or about the violations of the rights of the people, okay, to this letter or telegram written to the Supreme Court is considered as, you can say, filing a case. So this simple method is also there, in which that the people who can't afford this fee, or that due to other reason if they can't go in the court, so through this PIL they can file their case in the Supreme Court or High Court. Here I will give the example of PIL. Okay, so after that you can understand it. Just before a few years back, 2 or 3 years back, one case was there, that was Baba Ram Rahim. Okay, a saint of a Sirsa ashram, this was there. Okay, so in which we know that some wrong acts were going on in this dera. This was that this statement was given by the people, those who were living there. So after that, beta, what happened, that one lady, okay, those who was living in this ashram, that she directly couldn't file that case in the Supreme Court. So what did she do? She wrote a letter in the form of PIL, means she wrote a letter to the Supreme Court and told about every activity which was going on this ashram. Okay, so this simple letter, when it reached to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court that just investigate about that cases and found all the evidences, then beta that case filed against that person Ram Rahim. So means in this way, actually, that this PIL and that you can say letter written by that lady is considered as a PIL, because in that case not only that their rights, okay, but the other people, other ladies, those who were living there, okay, and say their rights, fundamental rights are being violated. Okay, so on the behalf of all person, those who were living there in these deras or ashram, okay, so the lady wrote that letter or PIL, okay, which is considered as, you can say, filing a case in the Supreme Court. And as we know that what result was this case, and that person was given punishment. Okay, so beta this type of cases, you can say, by writing a simple letter or telegram on the name of the Supreme Court on the behalf of all other people, okay, is considered as filing a case. The one another case is there that is related to the, you can say, in 2001 drought in Rajasthan and Orissa. Okay, which means that millions faced an acute shortage of food. So at that time, meanwhile, the government godowns were full of grains. Often this was being eaten away by the rats. So in this situation, Hunger Amidst Plenty, one organization was there which was called the People's Union of Civil Liberty, okay, PUCL, filed a PIL in the Supreme Court. It stated that the fundamental right to life guarantee in Article 21 of the Constitution included the right to food also. So the state excuse that it did not have adequate funds was shown to be wrong, because the godowns were overflowing with grain. So the Supreme Court ruled that the state had a duty to provide food to all. Okay, so therefore directed the government to provide more employment, to provide food at cheaper price through the government ration card, ration shop, and to provide midday meal to the children. So it also pointed to Food Commissioner to report on the implementations of the government scheme. So these are the example of PIL. So understood the meaning of PIL? Means that was, you can say, writing a simple letter or telegram, okay, to the Supreme Court is considered filing a case. This is there. Understood about it? So this is our chapter Judiciary. Okay, in this way our chapter is completed. Okay, now I'll give some question answers, which answer you have to write in your fair notebook. So for our first question is there, why do you think the introduction of public interest litigation, means PIL, in the 1980 is a significant step in ensuring access to justice for all? Yes, as I told that poor people can't afford the fee, can't that do these paperwork. So for those who can't do this all these works, so that for those people PIL, okay, public interest litigation is a significant step for ensuring access to justice for all. Second question, what is the structure of judicial system of India? And third one, differentiate between criminal law and civil law. Just I told you. Okay, and what is the appellate system? Two system I told you. First is appellate system, or second one is integrated. Integrated means linked. Ki how the courts are linked. As I told that first lower court, then high court, then supreme court. If person is not you can say satisfied with the lower court, then can file the case in high court. Again, if it is not satisfied with the high court, then file a case in the supreme court, and the decision given by that higher court is binding on the lower court. So in this way we can say India's courts are connected to each other. This is integrated judicial system. Same is about appellate. If person is not satisfied with the decision of lower court, he can appeal in the higher court. Okay, understood? Now we will have a discussion on the homework solution of lecture 1. Okay, in which our first question, what do you understand by law? So students, law is a system of rules that are created and enforced through social or governmental institutions to regulate behavior. This is the meaning of law. Second question is there, what does judiciary mean? Yes, actually the judiciary is the branch of authority in a country which is concerned with law and the legal system. Okay. Third question, how is the work of judiciary categorized? Okay, so third question, how the work of the judiciary is categorized. The work that the judiciary does can be divided into or categorized into the three main things. First is dispute resolution, judicial review, and upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. I have explained this thing, what is dispute resolution, judicial review, upholding. Next question is there, that is how can we say that Indian judiciary is independent? Actually students, that sequence of the questions are written here by mistake. That is our question number 4. Indian judiciary is considered as independent institution because the other two branches, legislature and executive, can't interfere in the work of judiciary, and the courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. Understood? So in this way we can say Indian judiciary is independent. Understood students? So in this way beta our today's lecture is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with the summary lecture of this chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.